Hey, what's up, everybody? It's been a while. Thank you very much for joining me this Monday, November the 20th. Can you believe that there's only about 40 days left in the year before it ends, and 40 days left into this year of 2023 where Bitcoin found the bottom and we found some immense returns on altcoins and on Bitcoin. And I'm just really glad that another year is going to pass by because it means that we're one step closer to a Bitcoin halving. And with all Bitcoin halvings, we do know that there's a huge ROI on them. And we generally finish the year extremely bullishly in a halving year, pre bull market year, which always leads up to a gigantic bull market. And we're one step closer to having this third bull market of mine. So I've been through two bull markets and two bear markets. The first bull market was scary because I wasn't really sure what was going on, and it was moving so fast between July and December. Those 5 months were so fast that I just you don't really know what's going on in your first bull market, put it that way. It's just moving too fast, and you're more so trying to catch up and understand and teach yourself at the same time. The first bear market was decent, actually. I cashed out a lot. I didn't get liquidated. I didn't lose everything. I didn't hold to the bottom. I did really well, and I kept dollar cost averaging, which saved my life. Second bull market, killed it. Absolutely killed it on coins like Axis and Phil and Bell and Ethereum and Bitcoin. Lots of good coins I was holding, Solana too. And then the second bull market or bear market, definitely learned so much from the first three cycles there. And after two bull markets and two bear markets, I cannot wait till this next market, this bull market, because everything that I have learned has led up to this final boss, to this final exam where I'm going to perform at a ultra hyper, really well level that's going to really test everything I know. And I believe that I'm going to be hyper successful in this next upcoming bull market because of 9 years of experience under my belt. Instead of focusing on, for example, 30 different strategies, I focus on only three or four specific strategies that are extremely fine tuned. And they're so detailed and precise with the entries that I think that it works really well for me. There's not only just one way to trade. Keep in mind there's multiple ways to trade, multiple indicators that people prefer to use. People have different personalities, and their trading style will definitely cater to their own personality. That's how styles and trading styles and entries and exits are derived. It also has a lot to do with people's risk tolerance, which relates to their personality. I tend to be a more risky person and tend to be aggressive, but I try to balance a delicate confirmation side as well with lots of safety. So I think that what works for me may not always work for other people, but what has worked for me has worked in a hyper successful way to the point where I don't care about learning new strategies. I don't care about learning new things like, oh, this might improve my game better, like, or this might add to my game. When people recommend indicators to me, I'm like, I don't really care about any of this anymore because what I've been doing for 9 years has led up to these moments of fine tuning and optimizing these specific strategies of mine to make it successful. That's why you're able to see me capitalize on major trades all the time. For example, I took a trade on TIA yesterday for $10,500 on a bigger scalp position, and it was an easy trade because it focused on shorting the ending fifth wave diagonal. And this is exactly why I'm releasing on Black Friday the emergency bull market survival guide. And it's going to be so accessible and affordable. It's going to be only $199. That's it. Not $1,000 like my other courses back then. This one is going to be $199. Everyone will have access to it. It's going to summarize literally everything I think that you need to know. It's not going to contain any of that BS. It's not going to be redundant. It's only going to teach you what I think are important and leaving out all the things that I know you don't need to know. Because there's so much to learn from. There's so many people. You can go to YouTube, you can check out their channel, and they're going to have a bunch of things, right? You would agree with that. There's so much content on some pages, but it's not systematic. They don't give you an outline of exactly what to learn and how to do it. They just give you 1 million different videos and be like, okay, you filter it through yourself and you dissect everything and then you try to figure it out. And that generally doesn't work. So what I've done is I've created a plan that's going to outline exactly what I think you need to know. And the syllabus is so comprehensive and strict and disciplined that it's only going to take you 1 week and 12 hours to finish this course. And once you get it done, there's going to be a very high probability of you doing a lot better than you would have done. So the chances of you being successful will increase exponentially when you finish this course. So let's jump into today's technical analysis video, where we're going to talk a little bit about my TIA trade. We're going to talk about Bitcoin trying to smash $38,000. And we're also going to talk about Bitcoin's fair market value for total crypto cap and what it means right now. Like right now, we are below this fair market value for the total crypto cap for a while now. And once we stay below it for a while, it generally leads into a bull market. So that's really important to understand, that we're very low valued right now for fair market total crypto cap value. And because of that, it's usually going to lead into a gigantic rally into most likely a 2025 year where we could reach anywhere from $5 to $15 trillion. And when you factor in the BlackRock ETF, it can go even higher than that, which we expect it to get approved sometime soon. So let's jump into today's technical analysis. And for those that are new to my channel, welcome. I hope you guys don't mind hitting the like and hit the subscribe and this notification button if you haven't already. Thank you. First of all, I was talking yesterday about TIA in the group. I pulled in $10,500 profit trading TIA yesterday. And the reason why I was posting the ending diagonals, if I ever post something, take it seriously, because I rarely post about setups anymore, because I'm more so trading solo with big account sizes and big positions. I am my mind scattered for a second. This is the leading first wave diagonal here, okay? So you see that it gets broken up into threes many times. And if you look on a higher time frame here, you're going to see it's the wedge type of shape. It's also known as a rising bearish wedge. And you're going to see bearishly diverging RSI across the board. Like usually you're going to definitely see it, right? So you're seeing higher lows here all the time with the possible MACD crossover. So you can anticipate a drop when things like this happen. So I was entering with a $500,000 position, and it yielded me some very good results. So I shorted mine over here, right there on the retest. So on the retest there, it broke below the low supports of wave 2 and 4 connecting. So it was in my best interest to short it for wave 5 there. And that made a lot of sense to me. So I believe that it's going to correct this whole pattern. So there's still much more room to go for it. This whole pattern from the original breakout down over here. So from the original breakout, there's definitely a high chance of it correcting the whole structure. And the whole structure has only so far moved to not even the 236 level. And I believe that this trend line right here that I'm drawing, this one moving, I believe it's a resistance that's most likely going to hold. And then eventually it's going to pop to the downside here. And once it pops to the downside, it's going to probably get a drop to, I'm guessing, like even the $5 ranges. I think it's going to drop pretty significant. So keep an eye on that coin. So Bitcoin right now has two possible patterns. Okay, if you take a look on, for example, the 4-hour time frame, okay, you see that there's a beautiful white support trend line on the bottom here that's been holding for a very long period of time now, for 23 days. But I originally believed that there was a like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 somewhere in here, okay, and then it made a high. So I believe that it was going to correct this whole structure, and there's still a high possibility of it correcting this high structure. So there's two possible types of patterns. There's an ascending triangle. You take a look at this possible pattern right here. Oops, sorry. Give me a second. There's an ascending triangle like that. See where it's going to possibly hit that. But then there's also a possible symmetric type of triangle where it could break out. So many ways to look at this structure. I think it's going to give a slow consolidation till the end of the year, to be quite honest. But leading up into the halving, the market is always extremely bullish, right? So it makes a lot of sense for you to be looking at Bitcoin and buying it next year, in my personal opinion. It almost makes zero sense for you to not buy Bitcoin next year because, as demonstrated every single year, that the Bitcoin halving is very significant. And the year of the Bitcoin halving always has massive return on investments, but at least double. And then it leads up into the bull market in 2025, or every year the halving happens, there's a major rally that leads up to the bull market. So if you take a look at a really interesting chart right now called the fair value regression band, okay, or the fair value market cap regression band, okay, this shows the valuation of the total crypto market cap, and if it's below or above the fair market value for the market cap, not for the price of Bitcoin, but for the market cap. Okay, so if you see here that the blue line is the total market cap, okay, and the red line is the fair value. Okay, the red lines and the green line, that's the logarithmic regression band. And what's the formula? It's just a simple log formula, nothing fancy. Okay. And if you notice in 2013, it ends up hitting the band, and in 2017's high, the bull market, it ends up hitting the band. And because it hits the band there, but 2021, it actually missed it. Sorry, 2013 and 2017 it hit the band, but in 2021 it didn't. It ended up just missing it by a significant amount, actually. Okay, so I think that in 2025 we're probably going to get anywhere from like say it ends in December here, the fair market value band here, or November is like 45 trillion, but I cannot see it hitting 45 trillion. That's just a little bit too much. Okay. Realistically, I think it's probably going to hit somewhere between 5 to 10 trillion. But if the Bitcoin ETF gets approved by BlackRock, then you're probably going to see like a significant amount of investors come into the game because now they're going to be able to buy Bitcoins through this ETF. And yeah, if that gets approved, I'm telling you, like, I don't know how else to say it, but you got to get really serious about doubling your money with Bitcoin, literally, or tripling it. There's a really good possibility that, and don't take this as financial, like, I'm not telling you what to do. It's your decision, it's your money, it's your choice, it's your accountability, it's your responsibility, it's your win, it's your loss, right? All I can do is guide you, but you're the one that needs to pull the trigger. But if you choose to listen to someone, you also need to understand that if you listen to somebody, it's still on you, not on them, because you're the one that made the active decision to listen to them. All I can do is give advice and talk about it from a non-financial advice perspective, like in terms of give you my opinion of what I believe is going to happen, right? And I'm usually right. I'm sorry to say this, but I'm usually right when it comes to long term. That's why I've been in the game for 9 years and have made a tremendous amount of growth in my portfolio and in my day trading account sizes. I think I'm one of the people that should not be compared to because my results are not typical. My results are going to be above that average performer. And that needs to be understood as well, right? That I probably work harder than 99.999% of the people that you know. And I've also put in more time and energy, dedication in general into this. There's not many people that will be willing to work as hard as me. And I have proven that. So what I'm saying about Bitcoin is that every year there's a halving year. And that every year that halving year occurs, there might or might not be a dip that year. Actually, it always happens. There's always a dip. But what I meant to say was there's a halving before or after the halving event occurs. But it doesn't matter if that major dip happens because at the end of the year, it finishes really strong. And because it finishes really strong, it leads up always to the next year, which is always a Bitcoin bull market year. So the halving is an incredibly good year to accumulate Bitcoin. Before or after the dip doesn't really matter because I don't give a shit about the timing. I'm just going to buy and hold. And then after that, if the dip does occur, it's a good time to look at alts. Not only that, if you take a look at Bitcoin in 2021, a lot of newer coins were released like late 2020. Okay. In Bitcoin's bull market in 2021, a lot of coins like Bell, like Phil, like Axis, they were all released in late 2020. Okay. Late 2020. So there barely was any data on it. And what I'm getting to is that there's going to be a lot of coins that will come out probably like late 2024, middle of 2024, after the halving. So don't put all your eggs in one basket yet for all your alts, because there will be new coins and possibly even new sectors to invest in. So be mindful of that. Right now is not the time for you to be wasting, in my opinion, on day trading that much. Okay, because day trading is going for like small percentage gains. In my opinion, you want to focus on the big gains. You want to focus on when this Bitcoin dip does occur near the halving, before or after it. What's going to happen is that's going to lead up into the altcoin season like it always does. Altcoin season will begin, and we are going to be able to ride these altcoins to massive, massive, massive profits. Right now, it's not confident to say that you can buy any altcoin on a dip and it will rally. There's no confidence in that, right? Because it hasn't been proven yet. The altcoin season has not been proven. All that's been proven is that there's been some rallies to the upside, and some of these rallies, right, they have significantly dropped. For example, if I look at a coin like Blur, okay, everybody would have thought that Blur was going to keep going, but Blur ended up dropping 78% so far. So you take a look at major coins like that, or Wi-Fi. You see Wi-Fi dropping 65% in just a few hours, actually. Okay, so it'd be very scary to catch a dip for those coins. I think you'd agree. So in a bull market, when it has been officially confirmed, okay, what happens is it rallies like 2, 3, 400% on a new coin, and then it drops significantly, but it does a recognizable ABC or typical pattern, and then it actually ends up breaking the high of the last wave of wave one, and then it keeps going more. So once you see this happen on a higher time frame, like I'm talking on a 4 hour or on a daily, a major time frame, let me give you an example, okay? This is when you know that a bull market has begun. Let me just give you a random coin like Axis. Okay, so when you see a random coin like Axis do something like this at the beginning, right? This is when you know that a bull market has begun. So Axis here did something like 5,000%. And then it retraces, okay? Retraces 78%. But the high was broken. Okay, the high was broken. Now, after that high breaks, it's game on. Okay, it's game on because you think of two things. One, it made a gigantic rally, first of all, or a few things you think of. Two, it dropped significantly. Three, it broke above the previous highs. So it's game on. Basically, after it breaks that high, any dip that you catch is probably going to lead to a gigantic mega rally. That's how I was hyper successful trading this coin. Even though I took a big loss eventually, I was still ultra successful trading this coin in general. So Axis was one of my go-to coins. Okay, so you can see the difference, right? But right now, if you take a look at a coin like Blur, okay, I'm just giving you an example, right? You can see a coin like Blur where it does something like that, and that's a really scary coin to be taking a look at, right? To trade. I thought it was going to make another rally, but it just never did. Okay, so that was a scary coin, like a Wi-Fi, for example. Okay, Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi was one of the more scary ones. As you can see here, it made actually a 50% drop, right? So you can't be confident in catching these dips yet because they haven't broken through major highs. And I'm more so going to focus on newer coins that come out. So be patient, guys. Right now is not the time to be taking risks still, in my opinion, but the time will come eventually. And I'll keep you updated soon. Bye now.